From broken windows and basement battles to battling out in the NHL ice, Brady will be the third member of his family to be drafted in the first round. His former teammate, the U.S. Under-18 team, Quinn Hughes, could be the first of three members of his family to wear an NHL jersey. Now at the draft combine, we caught up with the two future stars who are best friends and were one-time roommates.
So we lived in an apartment complex. So you go through the door, you go downstairs. That's Quinn's room. He has his own bathroom, and we explained it. They got the garage, and then you go like up 2 flights. Wake up, all right? Then grow up.
Sorry.
Grow up.
I'm done.
Grow up. Consider him a brother now, and now we know each other's flaws too. And I try to pick at the flaws and try to get him going too. And he got fiery at times, which I kind of loved. You have to say anything about that, or no? I went Tyler tomorrow. Oh, it's 5-1 right now.
I try to win at everything I do.
Oh, good save, Goldberg.
I wouldn't really want to play against Keith. He'd probably kill me.
BU in the scarlet red sweaters, Michigan in the white.
Well, it began, I mean...
I think someone scored. I forget who it is,
Yeah,
but I think that's how it began.
Hughes pulls the trigger. Score!
I think it was a fluke goal or something, but it's all right. I told him that day we're not talking. It's friends off the ice and competitors on the ice. So I think later that game, like, it kind of ran you, right? I remember Quinn slashing me. So I went up behind him, I gave him a little credit card and told him, don't do that again or, it's going to get pretty physical here. So
Oh, what's a credit card, Brady?
Oh, just a little stick between the legs. I'm not afraid to say that. I didn't get a penalty, didn't get suspended. So, no, I just want to let him know that. Didn't appreciate it, and if he wants to keep doing it, I can play dirty too.
It's all good. It doesn't affect me. My mental toughness is greater than that. So
yeah.
I think that was just me being in your head. Me being in your head. So
okay, yeah.
I think you were just pretty rattled. So
I
don't even know if it was me who slashed you, but
it's all right.
It's all good.
We're moving on.
I think we can if you want.
1st at 10 is the game. Here we go.
We spent a lot of time together the last couple of years. I mean,
been a couple fights, and I think that's what makes brothers is going through the good times and bad times together. We're definitely best friends and brothers.
Odd couple, but best friends. When they played together, what'd you learn about them individually?
Well, it's not just individually, but together they battered teams. So you talk about broken windows and whatnot. They were able to beat up teams because, when you got a defenseman that's so gifted and understands how to get himself open, and then a forward like Brady who understands what's happening all around him and can quickly adjust, it's unbelievable. I think they planned this out in the basement, no question about it. Hey, you get open, I'll put the puck on your stick. Based on that last interview, if Hughes didn't put it on his stick, I think Brady would have given it to him pretty good. But these are two excellent players. They're thinkers, they're competitors. And when you consider them moving forward into the NHL, they're going to do exactly what you saw in that tape with their teammates.
Catherine, thanks so much. Proud family. Philip Zadina, to piggyback off what Catherine was talking about, told the Toronto Sun his unofficial motto is look good, feel good, play good. And that's going to be the expectation for the Detroit Red Wings. Now Vancouver Canucks, just about a minute and a half left.
They want a defenseman. They want a defenseman. They got a choice between a big defenseman in Noah Dobson, or they got a choice, a smaller, more dynamic defenseman in Quinn Hughes. Won't be surprised if they go with the smaller guy in the American.
And that could be a trend here tonight. We could see smaller defensemen.
Well,
picked.
you know what? Yeah, well, we can. And, I mean, we've seen that happening in the NHL. You got to be able to skate, got to be mobile, make a play with the puck. So it's really interesting, and we talk about, so now we see two centers go in the top 5. That wasn't expected, Bob, earlier in the year or at midterm. Even in March, it wasn't expected. So now they're off. So now all these defensemen, we've seen the number 1 guy go, obviously, in Dahlin. Now we're going to see a run here. There's going to be Hughes, there's going to be Dobson, there's going to be Bouchard, and Boqvist now, who was a top 5 candidate earlier in the year, he now becomes interesting in a watch to see where he ends up.
Pierre, if you're with Vancouver right now, your recommendation is?
Quinn Hughes. Just looking at what they've got coming, look at Bo Horvat. They're starting to stabilize. Remember, the Sedins are gone.
Yep.
So now you got to get some electrifying stuff coming up, and Quinn Hughes is one of those guys that can electrify your crowd.
Horvat, Besser, Elias Pettersson, who dominated the Swedish league.
Adam Gaudette.
But you got Jonathan Dahlin. Yeah. Guess what? You need some defensemen that can get the puck up the ice. Hughes can do that.
Hughes is the guy, I think.
But they transition from the Sedins, as you mentioned. They do have some building blocks, perhaps cornerstones there, but mostly offensive guys. So perhaps they look defense. They look Quinn Hughes. We'll see. Maybe Noah Dobson. Here's the pick.
We would like to thank the Dallas Stars for their wonderful hospitality this week. Vancouver selects from the University of Michigan, Quinn Hughes.
Okay, Pierre. As he hugs his brother Luke, who's a 14-year-old prospect, his brother Jack, who could go #1 overall next year. Tonight, it belongs to Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is he's going to be able to move the puck tape to tape. He's going to be able to jump in. He's not ready to play in the NHL yet, but he's not far away from playing in the NHL. He just needs to get a little bit more robust.
Just came off playing for Team USA at the Men's World Championships, and that opened a lot of eyes. Everybody talks about, well, you know what? He plays more rover-style defense than actually defense. And people have questioned his defensive ability. And in all the interviews Quinn Hughes was doing, he says, by the way, I was only on for 1 goal against at the Men's World Championship. He's a dynamic skater. Seth Appert, who coaches the U.S. Under-18 program, says Quinn Hughes doesn't defend poorly. He just defends differently. And he's got a dynamic offensive element to his game. The question I would wonder is, where's he going to play next year? Back at Michigan, or does he turn pro and see where he fits in with the Vancouver Canucks, or, if necessary, go to the American Hockey League?
I would hang right at the University of Michigan. I would take the Charlie McAvoy pass. You know, go back. Charlie McAvoy was drafted as a late birthday, went back to BU, and he stepped right into the NHL with that maturity. I think that is the best path for Quinn. And he's a terrific player. You talk about his ability to move. You know, everybody talks about defense. I don't know how to evaluate his defense, Liam, because he had the puck on his stick all the time.
He's a tank. Here's the thing. They have an amazing coaching staff at University of Michigan right now with Mel Pearson, Billy McCall, and Brian Wiseman. He'll continue to grow. He only plays 2 games a week. So what does he need to do? He needs to get stronger. He needs to get a little bigger. That's what's going to happen if he stays at the University of Michigan.
And as we talked about earlier, families, great American hockey families, we'll be back here next year calling his brother's name perhaps #1 overall, Jack Hughes. What a dynamic #1 center he is.
Yeah, Jack Hughes, 17 years old, eligible next year. Many believe he will be that top overall pick. And then Luke Hughes, 14 years old, eligible in the 2022 draft. But here in 2018, it's all about Quinn Hughes. He's with Catherine.
All right, Liam, thank you. Quinn, before this moment, you said your most proud moment on the ice was getting Michigan to the Frozen Four. So where does this rank being drafted by Vancouver?
Yeah, obviously I'm very proud. You know, I've heard a lot of great things about Vancouver, and it's obviously a hockey market. So I'm really excited, and it's a dream come true. Honestly, I don't know what to say right now, so I'm just excited.
You're going to be playing in a Canadian market like your friend and one of your closest friends, Brady Tkachuk, who was drafted just a few moments ago by the Ottawa Senators. What did he say to you when you came up here on that stage?
He just told me he loves me. I love him too. So we spent 2 years together at the program, built it together, and we moved away when we were 15. So it's a young age, and we really got really close. So I'm very happy for him. He's a great player, but a better person. So Ottawa's got a great player in him.
We had your mom on earlier. She's the one responsible for teaching you how to skate. You're known for your prolific skating. So what did that mean to you from a young age being taught by your mother?
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have parents that know what they're doing, right? It always makes a difference. So I'm obviously grateful to both of them. My mom knows a lot about the game. So like I said, I'm grateful.
All right, Quinn, congratulations once again. Darren, over to you.
All right, Catherine, thanks very much. We're with Jimmy Hughes, Quinn's father, and Quinn just talked about going into a Canadian market, and you as a hockey man can appreciate the pressures that go along with that, but that's not a bad thing, is it?
No, we think it's a wonderful thing, and for Brady to go to a Canadian market, and now Quinn grew up in Toronto for almost 11 years. He knows the intensity of a Canadian market. If you want to be a hockey player, why not go to a Canadian market? So we're thrilled with it. I think Jim Benning and John Weisbart tried desperately over the last couple of days to maybe move up a little bit, so I think it's a perfect match.
How do you feel? I mean, there's so much expectation with Jack projected as first overall next year, and then you've got your youngest guy, Luke, around the corner after that.
Well, it's been an amazing journey so far, and there's a lot of work to be done, of course, but Jack has taken all this in. He's watching it closely, and he's here to support his brother, of course. But he's getting a little bit of a head start on a year from now. So, but he's got his feet on the ground, and he's not too far ahead of himself. So we'll just take one day at a time, I think.
All right, Jim. Congratulations.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Quinn Hughes hugging his brother Luke, his brother Jack. What a 13 months for this kid. 2017 World Under-18 wins gold. 2018 World Junior takes bronze. Michigan to the Frozen Four. 2018 Worlds earns bronze. And then the 7th overall pick.